Assalamualaikum and good day. I'm Atika, your Site Safety Supervisor for the East Coast Railing Project, also known as ECRL, under Malaysia Railing. So this is one of Malaysia's largest and most challenging infrastructure project, aiming to connect East and West Coast of Peninsular Malaysia through a new railway system. It involves massive civil construction work such as earthwork, bridge erection, tunnel boring, and railway alignment. So the construction industry, especially in civil work like ECRL, is one of the most hazardous sector globally. This is because we work in unpredictable and high-risk environment every single day. We deal with heavy machinery, unstable ground, working at high and confined environment daily. Because the site is dynamic and constantly changing, risks are everywhere, from uneven terrain and unstable structure to unpredictable weather and also human error. So on a site like ECRL, the main construction process include excavation, formwork, reinforcement, concrete pouring, crane lifting, and tunnel work. These tasks often happen close together and at the same time. So that's what we call process interaction. Okay, for example, while a team is excavating a trench, another team might be using a crane nearby to lift heavy component. A vibration from the crane or unexpected load swing could cause the trench wall to collapse. If one activity is not properly coordinated with the others, it can lead to serious incident. And this is where our role as site safety supervisor becomes very critical. We don't just monitor one task, we observe the whole site. We coordinate with all teams, we educate workers, we apply control measures, and we enforce legal safety standards to prevent accidents before they occur. Safety at Israel is not just a procedure, it's a part of the planning, execution, and completion of every single task. It is built into every stage of our construction work, and that's what we are here to do.
One of the most critical hazards at ECRL is structure collapse. This can happen when temporary structures like formwork or scaffolding fail under pressure, especially during concrete work or bridge construction. The risk is high when the supports are not built according to design or lack inspection. If a structure collapse happens, it can result to the workers. Workers may be crushed, serious injuries, fatalities, and major project delays. The site can become unsafe, and the company may face legal consequences. To control this, we ensure all formwork and scaffolding are designed by qualified engineers, inspected regularly, and erected by trained workers. Loads are calculated and not exceeded. We follow Regulation 27 under the Occupational Safety and Health Code, Regulation 2024, which governs the safety of temporary structures.
Another major hazard is confined space work. Okay, this includes tunnel, underground drainage chambers, and also manhole. This area have limited entry and easy, poor ventilation, and may contain toxic gases like methane or even the low oxygen level. Okay, so the risks include suffocation, poisoning, or unconsciousness if worker enter without proper preparation. So the effect can be immediate and also cause of death. So we don't want this happen, so we prevent this incident. So we use a permit to work system, which is air in the space must be tested before entry using gas detector. Ventilation fans are used, and workers are fully trained and equipped with PPE, including escape set. Okay, and then a standby team is also placed outside during the work. Okay, so every measure that I say was follow the Regulation 38, which is specifically outlined in confined space safety requirement.
Next of potential hazard is crane and lifting operation. The crane and lifting operations are common on this project, especially for placing viaduct segments and transporting materials. The risks include drop loads, tipping cranes, and worker being stuck by swinging objects. These incidents are often due to overloading, poor ground condition, or untrained rigging. The effect of lifting accident can be fatal and also cause a damage to expensive equipment or surrounding structure. Next, to control this hazard, we implement a lifting plan for every operation. Only certified riders and signalmen are allowed to perform lifting. We inspect all slings, hooks, and cranes daily. Also, communication is a key during lifting, and exclusion zones are marked. These steps are mandated under Regulation 33. For the last potential hazard is excavation and trench hazard. The excavation is one of the most dangerous activities. Workers face the risk of trench collapse, especially in soft or waterlogged soil. If the trench is deep and unsupported, it can cave in, burying workers almost instantly. The effects of a trench collapse can be fatal. It may also damage underground utilities like cables and pipes. To manage this hazard, we use trench box, shoring, sloping, or benching depending on the soil type. Trenches are inspected before entry, especially after rain. Workers are not allowed inside unsupported excavation. Regulation 22 clearly outlines this control measure for excavation safety. The next part, I pass it to my partner.
Okay everyone, so as safety supervisor, our role is not just based on experience, it's backed by law. Okay, at the ECRL construction site, we strictly follow the Occupational Safety and Health Construction Work Design and Management Regulation 2024 or CDM 2024. Okay, so this regulation guides us to prevent hazard and reduce risks at every stage of the project. Now let's look at the few critical ones we apply every day on site. So here we have 5 regulations that we emphasize, then I think we need to share with you guys. So first was Regulation 5, which is remind us to manage risks daily through hierarchy, which means identifying hazard, assessing the risks, and controlling them. Okay, so another one was Regulation 22, which is focused on excavation work and required that we protect any trench deeper than 1.5 meter with proper system.
And next, we have Regulation 36, deals with working ahead. All workers above 2 meters must use full body harness, and scaffolds must be inspected by a competent person before use. Regulation 15 requires us to keep a safety and health file. This file includes all safety records like induction attendance, toolbox meeting reports, inspection logs, and incident investigation documents. Regulation 47 prepares us for emergencies. It requires clear evacuation routes, fire drills, trained first aiders, and accessible master point. This helps us act quickly when something goes wrong.
At ECRL, safety isn't just a rule. We take reaction to protect our workers every day. So, before starting, every worker goes through a safety induction to understand site hazard, rules, and emergency procedure. Each morning, we hold toolbox talk to discuss the data and any safety concern. We regularly inspect all equipment, especially cranes and lifting gear. Any faulty tools are taken out of use immediately. We are ready for emergency with trained staff, flashing extinguisher, master point, and evacuation drills every 3 months. Every day, we carry out hierarchy reviews to identify new hazards and adjust safety measures as needed. At ECRL, we protect our people every day on every side. So, in conclusion, civil construction is full of serious risks, but accident can be prevented with good planning, legal compliance, and constant monitoring. As a site supervisor, our responsibility is not just to follow the procedure, but to lead safety. We must understand the work, spot the hazard, and act early to protect our team. Safety isn't something we add later, it is something we build into every part of ECRL project. Thank you and stay safe.